Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Language and Life Skills. I'm Matthew Antikanil. The topic of today's presentation is Live with Passion. Live with Passion. This is a comparison of Taliban and Saul of Tharsus. Point of comparison is their dedication to violence. Dear friends, after 20 years of a free life, a democratic life in Afghanistan, the clock was set back on the 15th of August 2021, this year, when the Afghan government fell to the Taliban and they took over the country once more. They have formed an interim government. Most of the ministers in this government are international terrorists wanted by other governments. In this very tragic and sad situation, many of the citizens have fled the country to save their lives. An international football team of teenage girls were forced to flee the country to save their necks. Women have been ordered back to their homes. They are not to be seen in public anymore. So we make a comparison between the Taliban and their violence and Saul of Tharsus. Let me first deal with the Taliban. Violence is in the very nature, in the very blood of the Taliban. They are always seen with a rifle in their hand, like we carry cell phones in our hands. And often they take selfies also with these rifles. The philosopher Descartes said, I think, therefore I exist. I think, therefore I exist. The proof of existence was for him that he was a thinking being. The Taliban seemed to say, I kill, therefore I exist. Proof that I exist, that I am able to kill others. Shooting and killing are the very essence of life, it seems to me, according to the Taliban. So the very approach to life for them is violence. In the 21st century, they live a life of savages and partly the violent life of the Middle Ages of religious wars. They ban education, music and dance and the arts for the men and for women, because this will reduce the virility and wild nature of the fighters. What is the role of women in this kind of situation, this kind of setup? They are slaves to men in every way. They have no freedom of choice, no freedom of any sort. They have no education, no part in public life. Their only role is to bear children for the men. So they have no qualms of conscience in kidnapping, killing, capturing girls and women belonging to other groups. And these are made to be their sex slaves and servants. They live a life no better than that of animals. Violence is in their very nature. After killing people, they shout, Allahu Akbar, God is great. In what way can God be great when they kill people? Their idea of heaven or paradise is very, very weird and strange. It is a place where you can enjoy all the vices, all the sinful gratifications. Each Taliban will be given a number of virgins for his pleasure. In their mindset and thinking, all non-Muslims are infidels. They have no right to live. Either they should be killed or they should be converted to their religion, or in some cases they should pay a heavy religion tax to continue to practice their religion. This is a very serious challenge to the very basic notion and right to life and liberty. Now let us see Saul of Tharsus very briefly. He was a very violent man in a similar way. He was a rabid Jew, he was a learned and well-trained Pharisee. He was convinced that Christians are a great danger to the state and to humanity and should be exterminated. So he made his life mission to go around, rounding up Christians, arresting them, taking them to jail, presiding at their torture and executions. His very name struck terror in the hearts of Christians. But something very dramatic happened to him one day. He was riding to Damascus to arrest Christians and bring them before the magistrates. Suddenly he was thrown down from the horse, blinded, and a voice spoke to him when he asked. You heard a voice saying, Paul, Paul, why are you persecuting me? And then he asked, Lord, who are you? He said, I am the Christ whom you are persecuting. He remained blind for 3 days and given instruction to an old man, Ananias, and he was baptized, became a Christian. Then his eyesight was restored. It was not a mere restoration of physical eyesight, a spiritual eyesight. He became a completely different man as he rode back to Jerusalem. Now, he became the greatest missionary, preacher of the gospel, of the good news, to especially the non-Jews. Spent all his time traveling, preaching, healing, and no sacrifice was too great for him to make for Jesus. So, he endured hunger, thirst, long journeys, sleepless nights, and then many times he was arrested, jailed, put in prison, tortured, flogged, put in chains, and even stoned in public. He says he was in danger from his own fellow Jews, from robbers on land and sea, and he was shipwrecked a few times. He was forbidden to preach Christianity. Finally, he was arrested and taken to Rome and executed there. Dear friends, we all need a life of passion. We can't be living the savage and inhuman life of the Taliban. But be passionate about life. And we must have a great cause, like Paul had the cause of Christ. Many of us are just drifting through life, half alive. We are not choosing goals, no high ideals, and we are just like a drifting boat in the wide open sea. Others are half asleep, bored, and not focused. Just living their days, let their days pass. There are no dreams, no energy, and no passion, and no satisfaction. Look at all the great men and women of history. They were people of passion. They set their sights high and walked to distant horizons. And so, we must walk in their footsteps. Live a life of passion. Choose a noble and worthwhile cause and spend your life achieving that. So, may all the Taliban and people dedicated to violence and soaked in violence be converted and embrace humanity, and live a life that is of service and use to others. My friends, if you like this video, kindly subscribe. So bye till another time.